hotels before, but this was when the night started to not feel like a normal sleepover anymore. Because inside this room with the pool was where we first met the butler. At first I thought it was awesome having a butler, because I'd never seen one in real life. The only butler I knew was Bertram from Jessie. But after being in that house for a little bit, I realized somehow this guy was everywhere. And you may say, well, yeah, Tyler, that's like kind of his job. But no, something was off about the way he was acting. Because Gary finished showing us around the house and asked if we wanted to play video games. We said yeah, so we head upstairs toward the gaming room, which of course they had a gaming room. But this was the last room that we hadn't been to yet. Or at least so we thought. Because when we get into the gaming room, there's another door inside it. But this door looks way different from any other one in the house. It was standing out like a sore thumb because it was painted red and about half the size of all the other doors. So of course, me and my friend asked Gary, hey, where does that door go to? But Gary, who had been super nice and cool up to this point, becomes super serious and says, don't worry about that. Let's just play Mario Kart. So my friend, who obviously knew Gary better and was more comfortable with him, says, wait, now I really want to know what's inside there. But Gary just responds with, it doesn't matter, just ignore it. That door hasn't been open in years anyway. This was weird, because if there had been no secrets hiding beyond that door, surely Gary would have just told us what was inside there so we wouldn't be so curious anymore. But what I didn't know when Gary said this was that he was lying straight to our faces. My friend and I look at each other, and I could tell we were thinking the exact same thing. You can't just tell someone there's a locked room they're not allowed to go in and expect them to just forget about it. That's like me telling you to not think about a pink elephant. What did you just think about? A pink elephant. Or at least I hope so, or else I'll sound dumb. But I'm pretty sure you did. The whole vibe of the sleepover changed after that warning. Everything that had seemed fun and amazing just 5 minutes ago now felt different. I kept looking at that door, wondering what was inside there that made him so scared to talk about. It was all I could focus on now. So we're playing video games for a while. When it gets to around 11 p.m., when Gary gets tired and says, hey, I'm gonna go to bed early. He tells us that we can keep hanging out in here if we want, but to just not break anything. And then he just disappears into his bedroom. He was an only child, so it was no surprise when he said that he was going into his room to sleep alone, and we could sleep somewhere else. But when Gary went to bed, me and my friend were thinking the exact same thing. We basically just got handed the keys to this mansion for the whole night. Now, we could go explore more of the house and find the truth behind what they were hiding. We didn't want to try going into the weird, creepy red room door yet because we weren't sure how long it would take for Gary to fall asleep. So we agreed that it would be better to do that later in the night when we knew that everyone would be sleeping, including the butler. Keep that in mind, because the butler would end up being very important later in the story. Since we didn't want to go in the red door room yet, we decided to go check out the backyard because Gary never took us out there either. But then we realized there was a reason why. Because when we stepped